because, I know I'm weird, but I don't enjoy it. I appreciate when there is a conflict. I appreciate being able to address it and talk ASAP about it. I know that it's not that I don't get the little yuck feeling in my stomach like you guys get too, which probably is part of why you're like, I ain't doing that. And again, this we could be talking work or personal in this. We could talk about your husband or wife or your boo or your kids or whatever. But like the fact is that in general, we don't communicate when there's a quote unquote problem or a difference or some sort of misalignment, disalignment, lack of alignment. And as a result, inevitably, whatever is the problem is guaranteed to get worse because we don't want to talk about it. And so I just want to call out to everyone the importance of challenging yourself to be willing to lean into hard conversations, which, by the way, if you've ever done this, you will start to see that a lot of times it's not even that big of a deal. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize you were thinking that. I'm so glad you brought it to my attention. I totally didn't even mean it like that, or whatever. Or you know what? I knew you were having a bad day, so I didn't even take that personal. But you were over here like, this has been 3 weeks, and you're like, she don't even like it. And you know what I mean? Like it's become this monster. And it's really because I would say more than anything, the idea that we might not get along or we might have a difference. We would just rather not talk about it. So that's the first thing that comes to me, Lane, is like before
Yeah.
we get into our really deep notes of the things we would cover, right? Like just the part about like, can we start leaning into the discomfort of being uncomfortable
Right.
so that we can like, do you know how many problems we would not have if we just did this in any area of life? Thoughts, Lane?
Right. Yeah, I think that that is one of the really commonly dreaded things. People hate that, and I hate that. Like, I'm not speaking just like other people. Like I don't enjoy, and I don't really know that there are people that enjoy it. It's not something that is like fun, but it is, and it's harder than the opposite, which we've seen most people do, which is nothing. So
I
it's the
would argue
hardest
it's harder
thing.
to not do something because ultimately it gets harder. Like it gets
It
worse.
gets hard. It
So it's
gets
an inaccurate assessment of how hard because
it is. It
it's
is.
easier in the moment to not
Right.
say,
Well, and
but
I think
long
that's a theme in a lot of our stuff where it's like
term,
we talked about a few weeks ago how like with physical health, like people put that off because they don't have the money for it. But really, if you put off your physical health, you'll be spending way more money later down the road on some
right?
other physical health issue. So
Yep, yep,
it's the
yep.
same kind of thing. It's like delayed gratification in some ways. So
Mhm.
it's just, yeah, one of those things that like I think is a learned skill that like if you want to have a better experience at work, then you probably need to learn that, because like you can level up in your career all you want, but if you're still like kind of caught up in these dramas all the time, and like, if that's a thing that's like consistent for you at work like it is for most of us, then like it might be time to evaluate, what would that look like if you didn't have that going on.